Thank you for being here. Yeah, so this is Absolute BS, our first podcast. So I just want to first go with thank my sponsor, the first sponsor I have, and that's shit. Dude, start this over.
Dude, just fucking go with it. Just fucking go with it. Yeah, we got to thank our first sponsor. Who is it? Jamal Major Music.
Yeah, so Jamal did it. Basically, he runs his own beat store.
Oh, he owns his own beat store?
Yeah, so basically you can go online and you can
you can sample his beats. What's his beats?
So his website's called nobossbeats.com. No Boss Beats is about making your dreams come true. He provides resources and support you need to get your music career going today. We strive to do things right and first time, every time. So thank you again, No Boss Beats, for providing me my intro music. And I guess we're ready to start the show. You ready to
Thanks,
do this?
Jamal. Let's do this. Let's get on into it.
So Dan, before we do anything else, I got a little surprise for you for coming on the show today.
Okay. Oh, sweet, sweet. All right, let's see what it is. Let's see what it is. Oh, dude, hell yeah. Oh, you're doing the yes, a new sketchbook and some pencils.
So, funny story about the pencils. I was at Michael's last night.
Yeah.
And I was gonna get you like the normal set, but then I saw those, but they were behind like lock and key.
Yeah.
Which I don't know why. I'm assuming these things are like badass. So.
Yeah, Winsor Newton. It's more of a
stolen product. I'm assuming because
basically.
Because they had them behind them.
Yeah. No, it's a more higher brand, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. So with Absolute BS, Dan, the goal of this podcast is basically to interview the everyday person about their lives and see what how they got to where they are today. And the way I start the show is called the 4 Horsemen. It's 4 questions.
Okay.
Some of them could be deep. Some of them are just stupid. If you don't feel like answering, just say you don't want to answer.
Let's go through it.
All right, let's see what you got. All right, first question. What are you most afraid of?
Most afraid of? I would probably say failure. Failure. For what little I do attempt in my life, I don't want to fail at it.
Yeah.
Because most of the time it's like, meh, I'm just going to pass over doing that.
Yeah.
It's like, I did a little bit above the bare minimum in order to get by. It was like, all right, I just need to, not be a felon, and everything will be good in life. And then, so when I actually focus on doing something, then I actually want to succeed at it. I don't want to fail, because then it's like, why did I even try?
Yeah.
So that would probably be, that'd be the answer to that one.
So when you do try something new and you do fail, how does that affect you? My question also is like, when it goes to failure, like, say you've given it everything, do you feel less hurt or whatever when you tried your best, or do you feel more hurt because you put so much in?
No, I feel like even if you fail at it, if you gave everything for it, you have nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah.
Because not everyone can do everything. So when you try and you fail at something, it's a kick in the nuts, but it's also get up and try again.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that might not be for you. So just use that as a motivator to move on to something else, if that's out of your grasp.
So this isn't part of the four horsemen question, but
just feeding off of that one.
Yeah. So also, can you name an instance when like failure was not an option, and I mean it was like, you know what I'm saying? You would have given everything in order to do what you're doing. Or a big achievement that like you've done because of it. Your fear of failure.
Honestly, it's having a kid.
Yeah.
That drives you with the fear of failure. It drives into your head that you can't fail. You don't have the option to fail because someone else is depending on you.
Yeah.
So there's no option for failure. If you fail at being a parent, what the fuck is your purpose?
Right.
You know, why were you even a parent?
Yeah.
And I view that's my drive to not ever fail. Because if I fail, you know, my kid, then I'm not worth it. Now, there is times, you know, where you fail at some stuff.
Right.
But I view it as an overall failure, like not being able to provide for your child.
Yeah.
That's a drive for me. Always got to have a job, always got to provide for your kid.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
Nice. So number 2, tell me as your brother something, because we've grown up together.
Yep.
I know basically almost everything about you.
Yep.
So you gotta tell me something you've never told me before.
There was almost a decade where you went around, you know,
Yeah.
being deployed and everything, so.
Yeah.
Something that you don't know about me. Like something funny?
It could be anything. Just something that like I had no clue.
Yeah, it's hard to think of. Because, yeah, literally, you know almost everything about me.
Yeah.
And anytime something funny happened, I always fucking told you about
Right.
it. That was usually what we would talk about if you were overseas.
Mm-hmm.
I remember to tell you about the time I thought I shot myself.
No. There we go.
That's just an opener right there. It's like, ooh, please, go on.
So what happened?
All right. So I was at the range and I was by myself. And I lived out in Keene. And the gun range in Keene was probably about a half an hour away from the city. So I was using a dog target, you know, in order to sight in because it only had up to 200 yards. But I wanted my M4 clone.
So what's a dog target first?
A dog target. It's a target where it's scaled down in size.
Okay.
So you could shoot out to theoretically the 600 meters.
I know what you're saying.
But you're only at the 30 meter mark.
Okay.
So it's scaled down in size.
Now, is it one target that had like 5 different targets on
It was literally like a human-sized target.
Okay.
And at the 30 yards, it looked like it would have been at 600.
Oh, gotcha.
Those ones. I know that the Marines use them. I didn't know if the Army did.
Oh, okay. We have like one sheet of paper, and then they'll have like 8 different targets on there, and then you gotta like shoot 3 there, shoot 2 there.
Yeah.
Basically get 40 of them in there. But yeah.
Yeah, the one that I was using was one that Dad told me about using when they would still have to qualify and shoot for the longer, but when they weren't able to get out to a 600.
Oh, okay.
So it was a shorter one. So it was like, okay, I'll try the dog target. I've never tried one before, and I put it up and I measured all the way, to the 30 meters. And then I'm back, and the first shot, I take the shot, no sooner do I feel the trigger, I hear the crack, I feel something hit my side. And I'm like, fuck, did it just ricochet and I shot myself? Dude, that 30 seconds felt like minutes.
So what was it?
I was panicking. I did not want to even check to see, because I know once you see the blood, you start to panic. And then it's like, oh, I'm fucking dead. And this time, dude, it was your second tour of Iraq. I'm like, my brother's overseas, and I die shooting myself at the damn gun range. So I feel it, no blood. I go up into the back of the berm. I hit a rock, and it exploded. Dude, it literally hit me in the rib where it left a bruise on the rib. Dude, I thought I shot myself. Good. I got home, and I told Dad about it. He laughed at me so hysterically. He was like, you're such a loser.
Were you the only one out there, too?
I was the only one out there.
Geez.
Dude, it was passing through my mind. I'm like, I'm not going to be able to drive to the hospital. I'm like, this is how I die. Of all the dumb stuff I've ever done, this is how I die. And dude, William was like 2 years old. I'm like, great, he's going to grow up with his mother. I'm sitting there thinking that. I'm like, great, he's going to live with her, and it's going to be fantastic, his life, And yeah, that was the time I thought I shot myself.
Nice, that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So this is one of the not so serious questions. Better movie, Ghostbusters or Beetlejuice, and why?
Which Ghostbusters?
Oh, original.
Original cast?
Yeah. I don't think you could compare them. Like the new.
I don't think you can compare them. Not the new versus the old. I honestly, I watched a little bit of the new and I turned it off.
Yeah.
I just thought it was junk compared to the old one.
You're talking about the one with all the females?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't even care about that aspect. I don't. it was just they were trying too hard.
Yeah.
And the original, the original magic of the Ghostbusters was they weren't trying. They were just them.
Yeah.
That was the actors just being them. That's why it took off so well. But go back to the original. I think Beetlejuice.
Nice.
I think Beetlejuice because one, the story was more interesting.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters was great because of the cast and everything, but it was more funny than anything.
Mm-hmm.
It had a pretty good story. It did. But I think Beetlejuice, it had a better story. And Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
Dude, him? I am so amped up for Beetlejuice 2.
I didn't even know there was.
Dude, they greenlit it. He's coming back.
Yeah.
From what I've read, he's coming back. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, like, I try to think of the overall, like, money, like, that went into it. I think Ghostbusters blew Beetlejuice at the park.
Yeah, for the money that went into it.
But, like, reading into it, too, also, like, a lot of those scenes in Ghostbusters were improvised. They were literally just saying off the top of their head what
a lot of
they
them were
felt like
good
saying.
stand-up comics.
Yeah.
And they could just feed off of each other. That's why comedy, Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
But the better story, I think, was Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice, by far, yeah. And, like, so I'm doing that movie calendar thing. Basically, it's top 100 movies.
Yeah.
And I'm on to number 59, and it's Ghostbusters. And it's crazy that I'm watching it now, and even the CGI that's in it now is still not that
No,
bad.
it's not bad.
Yeah, I'm like, how were they able to back in, what 80s?
In the 80s.
Yeah.
Dude, the 80s, I think, honestly, some of the best movies were made in the 80s.
Yeah. It was total creativity. Now
Yeah.
it's just plain. It seems like nowadays, they just redo it down to the ground. Like the new Ninja, not to go down a huge rabbit hole, but like, think of like the Ninja Turtles when we were kids.
Yeah.
You know,
and then the new one, that sucked. That sucked. They look like deformed oafs.
Yeah.
They looked like ogres that should have been underneath the bridge.
Yeah.
Not having fucking nunchucks or swords. They should have been like, give me money to pass my bridge.
Exactly. That's why I'm just like, it seems like whatever they can do, they just, all right, let's do a movie that we haven't, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no creativity. It's just, all right, let's remake another whatever it is.
Yeah.
Blade
this one was
16.
good. This one was good. Let's go ahead and redo it.
Yeah, let's run it into the ground.
Yeah, let's run into the fucking ground.
All right. So the last question.
Okay.
Give me a piece of advice you could give anyone that you've learned since being on this planet. So what would, if you could give anyone something as a piece of advice, what would you give them?
Try not to take life so seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, look at our cultures. Everything is way too serious now.
Yeah.
And the humor and humanity is gone.
Yeah.
Now if you try to make a joke or make people laugh, you offend people. And if you offend people, it's, oh my Lord, my, no.
Yeah.
Just laugh off what you can laugh off. Try to see things from a different perspective. Try not to take everything so serious, because not everything has to be serious.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing too with like when it comes to like politics, like it's so divided now that like
Oh my
a lot
God.
of my army buddies that would die for one another are arguing over Democratic, Republican, and it's just like, guys, who cares? Like,
Yeah.
is that ever control?
No.
Just
Dude,
laugh
we,
at
yeah,
the dumb
we need
shit.
to go back to the somewhat the don't ask, don't tell policy of our culture that it used to be. It didn't matter who you prayed to. It didn't matter who you slept with. It didn't matter your political beliefs.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that should be even in daily talks or concepts, or it shouldn't matter.
Yeah.
That's when I feel like everyone stopped, laughing about everything. If we could just look and laugh. Comedy is the best cure.
For me, like back in the day, I'd look at like, how like Facebook would bring up like photos from the past, like memes and stuff, and I'm like, if I posted a meme that I did like 5 years ago now,
Oh God, man.
oh my God. But like the thing is, back in the day, could it have been super offensive? Yes, but and then my goal was to be like, all right, that was crazy offensive. Let me see if I could find something even more
Worse.
offensive.
Yeah,
that's even more
because people
funny.
would turn their cheek. They're like, okay, well, this isn't my thing. I'm just going to turn my way.
Right, and they'd be like, oh, that's just Billy being Billy.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
just Billy. Dude, are you kidding? You don't have freedom of speech anymore.
Yeah, no, it's like I gotta look at it, and then I'll be like, all right, who am I going to offend? I like these people, but I like these people too. And I'm like, do I even want to start the argument? No. So like, and then I just like, will send them private messages to like the people who are still okay with like crazy memes or whatever it is. So,
yeah. Try not to take everything so serious.
Yeah, that's a good piece of advice.
Cause, dude, look at the social anxieties that people have now with the pandemic and everything, and it's just, oh my God.
Yeah.
Just try to laugh.
Exactly.
You know, look at the dumb shit that goes on. Just laugh about it.
Yeah.
You know, watch more comedies, watch more stand-up. Netflix has a shit ton of them.
Exactly.
You know, try to laugh more in life. You will be healthier.
Yeah.
You will.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, it's crazy, like, you know, the whole new thing with the state house getting taken over and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, I was mid-working out, and then every now and then I'll look at my phone, and then one of my friends posted what's going on, so I'm like, no way this is happening.
Yeah.
So I turn on the TV, and I'm just like, oh, there goes my workout, because I gotta see what is going down.
Seriously. Here's a cure. Fucking shoot him.
So what I did, perfect example, is I'm starting to make jokes. Like, the first joke I said, it was like, oh, somebody gets to tell Biden it's not his birthday. You know, because, like, everyone thinks he's, like, losing his shit.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, I have Democratic friends that would think that's offensive, so I took that down, and I made another thing, like, comment, World War III brought to you by Monster Energy drinks. And
I'd seen that meme. Dude, oh my God.
Tiger King. But it was like, I don't want to, it's not so much about offending them, it's just I like my friends so much that I don't want to piss them off.
Yeah.
And then, like, give it a day later, everyone's an expert on fucking...
Oh, God,
like, well, you know, this person, this, and the Constitution, but you know Trump's... I'm just like, guys, we have no control over this.
Seriously, just
focus on what you can.
Just let it go. Just let it go,
if
man.
it's that important, go to your town hall. Go to your town hall and start voting in making your state. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, yeah. Well, that was a big rabbit hole, too.
A little bit. Anytime you go political, religious, anything like that, it's always a rabbit hole.
That's what I try to do, is try it. Like, whenever I'm around anyone, avoid politics and religion.
Yeah.
If you're at the dinner table, you know better. Never talk politics or religion.
And that's the way that it used to be, and I think everyone forgot that.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a time and place for everything.
Yeah.
You have the freedom of saying do what you want, but, you know, I mean, if you talk shit, people are going to talk shit to you, too.
Yeah, because there's just as many smart Democratic people as there are Republican.
Yeah.
So it's just like, we get it. Both sides are educated people.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, we get it. We get it, whether you go far left or far right. There's going to be dumbasses both ways.
Well, yeah, that's what I was like.
You know? God. And evident.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. All right, so I want to open the platform up to you. So basically, talk to me as if I've never met you, and tell me your life story and what gets you up in the morning, what like motivates you, what struggles you're struggling with, what you know what I'm saying, everything.
All right. Well, what gets me up in the morning? My alarm clock. It's the first thing.
Yeah. What time do you wake up? You wake up at 4?
Dude, I wake up at like 5:15.
Jeez, I try every morning to do that, because when you do, you're awake. You enjoy your whole day.
Yeah. Dude, on my days off, or when I was on vacation, I slept till 7. I felt like my day was ruined. Yeah. It's like, my day is gone. I should have already had my coffee and been showered and ready to go.
Yeah.
And annoying Melissa.
Nice.
But, yeah, no, I get up at like 5:15, 5:30. And then, you know, get ready for work. I get the kids up, get them ready to do their schooling, drop William off at school, head to work. And then that's where I spend a majority of my day.
Yeah.
Like 11 to 12 hours a day, I work.
I know. So that's one thing about my brother. He will work and I think it's something that's ingrained in us from our father.
It is.
So I'm struggling with that too, because like right now I'm doing college full time, and Danny's been a huge support for me, because I'm driving myself crazy, because it's like, no, I need to work, but if I work, then it's gonna affect my school.
Because dude, you hear Dad in the back of our head. Yeah. A man's job is to provide for his family.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's the driving force.
Yeah.
And that's what a father should do.
Right.
Drive it into their kid's head. Your job is to provide.
Yeah.
Your job is to be responsible in this world. And that's where a lot of things have fallen apart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. It's tough too because it's like, our childhood.
Oh God,
Most people be like,
dude, yeah,
"Are you
we couldn't put it out.
Yeah, we couldn't put our childhood out, but the thing is, it made us who we are today. Like nowadays, I don't think we could raise our kids the way our dad.
No, we were raised with hyenas, man.
Yeah. Not only did we have 4 older sisters tearing us apart, like ripping us apart, like verbally.
Seriously,
we love
verbally,
each other, but like
physically.
Yeah, physically too. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just yeah, and then Sergeant Bill.
Yeah, dad was I always tell people picture like Clint Eastwood in Gran Torino if he was a Marine.
Yep, just shorter.
Yeah, just shorter.
Just much shorter.
And
much scarier.
Yeah, much scarier. He never had to lay a hand on us.
No.
But he could just
scare
us.
Raise that hand.
Yeah.
Fucking knife hand for days.
Yeah.
Dude, God, man, it was like.
Yeah.
He probably could have separated the Great Wall of China with it.
And the funny thing is by being raised by him, like I never get intimidated by any other man because of him.
No, I just look and I laugh. I'm like,
yeah.
No, man, no.
Because like when you're a child and you got like the scariest person in the world mentor, and you're like,
dude,
anyone else is just like, you could be this big dude and you'll still be like.
If you're being raised by this person that scares monsters, then you're fine in this world.
Yeah, you got nothing to fear.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. But I would say that's majority of my day is working. Working in the automotive field. It's good. I think it's honestly it's a better way for me of working.
Yeah.
When I get to actually work with my hands. And all that, other than doing the management stuff, the computer and all that good stuff. But I think the automotive field is a good field to work in. You make decent money, you do, and if you put your mind to it, you can move up. It makes a pretty decent living.
Yeah.
I do. I provide, for a family of 4, and we have a good place, nice. We live in the suburbs, and nice little duplex, and that's basically my days. And then at night, working out, getting back to that, lifting weights. It's been a few months since I've done that. Getting back to that, trying to rip that out. My goal is to be able to do the inverted push-ups again.
Yeah.
I missed that. That was fun. In being able to hold onto the bench and do my abdominal raises. Can't do that anymore. I tried that. I'm like, nope.
And so you got down from, what was your weight when you very first started?
385.
Holy shit! And now, what was your lightest weight? Like when you were
my lightest
that
was
Christmas,
210.
210.
210.
My God, dude. That's lighter than what I weigh right now.
Yeah, 210. 210 was my lightest. And I don't think that I would ever go below that.
Yeah, you're
just because of how
sick.
Yeah, how big I was.
Yeah,
it's just I gotta bulk on muscle, and obviously losing fat along the way. But I'm never gonna be like that skinny guy with the 6-pack. That's not gonna happen.
So what would your ideal weight be? Like
probably like 245.
245.
Probably like 245. A bit bigger. I'm starting to really focus on my mid-back and my traps and my pecs, and arms, of course. Mm-hmm. And obviously doing ab exercises, and especially working on the lower one ever since that hernia surgery.
Yeah.
If you ever get a hernia, it fucking sucks. Everything sucks about it. It sucks. You have gas, that hurts.
Yeah.
That hurts. Dude, sex, you're limited to like 3 positions. And it's not any of the good ones. I mean, obviously it's a good one because you're having sex.
Yeah.
But dude, literally everything. Taking a shit hurts. Taking a shit hurts. Dude, fuck that. Fuck that. So I'm working on, those muscles right now, strengthening those.
Yeah.
And which, they put pins in my hips. I never knew that was going to happen. I feel them every now and then. When my belt goes a little bit too low and they touch it, fucking hurts.
Yeah.
I feel it in my bone. I'm like, ah!
And the thing is, too, is like, you get a hurt leg or a hurt arm.
What am I talking about?
We're recording. Automotive.
Was it automotive? Son of a bitch. Beep me.
I know.
Oh, no. Hernias.
Hernias, yeah, because we're like talking about.
Yeah, that's affected my life. And literally, I remember the exact time that it tore. Now, I probably heard it before it.
Mm-hmm.
I was, doing some deep squats. And I was only putting like 250, 300 on the squats. And that was literally only a little bit more than what I used to weigh, earlier. So I was like, yeah, I can rip that out, no problem. So I was ripping out low squats. I'm never doing low squats again. And then I went to go pick up a small snow tire. And I leaned over, crossed, I picked up the snow tire. I felt the rip in my lower abdomen.
What did it feel like?
Oh my God, dude, it literally sounded like a zipper.
Oh.
It sounded like a zipper, and it felt like a hot poker.
Wow.
Yeah, it was just the worst pain I had ever felt. And I still had like 3 hours left of work, and I was the only one there. So it was, I got to deal with it at work. And then, yeah.
Now, you were having stomach issues before that too. Was that before that, or was that?
That was after that. That was because of that, the freaking hernia. And I found out what it was, and they're like, oh, well, you need this much money in order to pay for it. I'm like, well, I need insurance. So I had to deal with it for like 6 months.
God, what was it?
The lower tear of my abdomen. I tore my abdomen in 3 places.
Oh, wow. So that was all part of the hernia?
That's a hernia. Yeah, and then the surgery. Dude, oh my God.
Did you have a mesh put in?
Yep, a mesh, literally, like multiple layers underneath my muscles and over my muscles, and then they pinned it to my bone. So I should never tear again, but it's pretty uncomfortable.
You can still feel it to this day?
No, not so much. It's just the movement. I don't have as much as a range of movement.
Oh, okay.
Like before, I was almost to the ground doing splits. Now I can only get like a foot off the ground. I'll never be able to do full splits again.
Yeah.
Why I thought it was essential to do splits in my 30s was just, I don't know. I thought it'd be cool to be able to kick up high again.
Nice.
I was doing jump kicks at that time. Yeah, not doing that now. That might have led to it.
Yeah.
Might have led to it.
That's awesome. It's like, all right, checklist. Let's see. Ooh, I haven't done a split in about
20
years.
20 years, man. It's like, you know what? I used to do martial arts all the time. Let me go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna make this happen.
Yeah, I made it happen. I did, and I regret it.
So
a lot.
Going into that, like when we were young, I remember you were into karate.
Yeah, taekwondo.
Taekwondo. What did you get? What belt did you get?
I was a green. I was a green belt. I studied it for almost 3 years.
Really?
Yeah, I took my time with it, learning the forms properly, and I really focused on that.
Yeah.
And I actually wanted to go over to South Korea to learn more, and Dad was like, "No, it's not going to happen."
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. But,
I mean, when you got like 6 kids, and it's just like,
Yeah.
Hey, Dad, I want to go to South Korea.
I want to go to South Korea to learn martial arts from some of the masters while we're living in the fucking ghettos.
Dad would be like, "Cool, get a job."
Yeah, get a job. Get a job. I'm 11. Get a job.
Get a job.
I worked at a machine shop when I was 10.
Yeah.
Dude, he fucking did.
But that's the funny thing is just like.
Yeah. He was born to work and war and make children.
Yeah, that's what you do.
That's what he did as a man.
Yeah. You wake up. Yeah. That's crazy. But moving into your like childhood, you used to draw. Drawing was basically your outlet.
Drawing was my outlet. It was my release from the world and all the craziness that we had to deal with growing up.
Yeah.
Our older siblings just being outright assholes to us, and our parents just.
And to be honest, I was no fucking saint. Like,
No.
When it came to Danny, like.
No, you'd rip my shit. Like all the time.
But it's so weird that like when you were a kid.
So weird. So weird. Yeah, I was the youngest getting it's kicked and getting my shit ripped and stolen. It's a good thing I haven't grown up to be a fucking serial killer.
I thought it was gonna
Dexter 2.0.
Yeah, right.
The Dan edition.
Well, getting your stuff stolen still hasn't changed because now you got kids that still.
Oh God, and he's my size, so it's utterly ridiculous. Dude, why are you wearing my shirt? It's not your shirt. It's my shirt. Dude, I literally bought that. He's like, how did it end up in my bureau? It didn't end up in your bureau. You went in mine. How do you know? Because the drawer was still open.
Nice.
I didn't do it. Did you ask anyone else? It's like, I'll beat you.
And play off that shit. That's hilarious because I always used to do that too.
Yeah, you always. Yeah.
Or
yeah.
you too.
Yeah, and you stole my shit too growing up. Especially when it was popular to wear like things like 3 times bigger than what you are. You're like, I got a fat brother. I'm gonna wear his stuff. Billy, why are you wearing my pants? That's not your pants, Dan. I just bought them.
Yeah, I just bought them. They're what, 38s, and I wear probably a
fucking
28.
like a 28.
Yeah, I can't gain muscle to save my life as a kid. Like,
yeah.
Oh my god.
No, you were a freaking rail, man.
Yeah.
If you were tan and you just sucked in your gut, you'd be like, please, sir, can you just pass some change?
Yeah. I remember like double wrapping a fucking belt to get us. I was so like so ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah, you were ridiculously small. It was like, is he still being fed? Is the big one taking his food?
The funny thing is, when we were in school too, Danny and I came up with a thing like, because someone would ask, be like, "Whoa, is Dan your brother?" And I'd be like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh my god, you guys! How many times do we always get? You guys look so different."
Yeah.
So
it's like, okay, siblings can look different, man.
So Danny would be like, "Well, our parents can only afford to feed one of us." I don't know how we came up with it.
Dude, I remember that. They could only afford one of us.
Yeah, they could only afford to feed one of us, and Danny grew got the big straw.
Yeah, seriously.
That was great times.
All the stupid shit when we were kids.
I know, right? Jeez, going from like ghetto to, and so just to, I don't want to take over, so I kind of want you to explain, but talk about the transition from, Elm Street to Laxton Ave.
Oh my god. All right, so
describe the two.
Well, I mean, if you want, we can start all the way at the beginning.
Yeah, let's start all the way back. Oh, yeah, because I kind of want to go back.
Vermont.
I want to talk about that too.
Yeah. Well, in Vermont, we lived in a farmhouse. Remember the one with the cornfields? We grew the corn, but someone else was contracted to actually, get the corn. So I remember Dad did that for a while, and then we had our own pigs, we had our own chickens, we had sheep, and we had horses and all that. I fucking hate horses. I still do. Still do. I've been kicked, I've been trampled, I've been bit. I've done nothing to them, and they hated me from the beginning. I was the one who never wanted to ride them. I was the one who wanted nothing from them, but they wanted to beat my ass.
Yeah.
It's like that one. We're gonna kick his ass. And then the other horse is like, why? It's like, I don't know. We're gonna kick his ass. The blonde one.
Now, are you talking about the White House we used to live in?
Yeah, I'm talking about every single fucking horse.
Yeah.
But yeah, the White House. That one. That remember the playroom was up in the attic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So getting a little bit into that, I'm not a big ghost person. But that house,
it was haunted.
It was haunted as hell. So do you remember?
I remember we were down for lunch, and then we heard all that thrashing upstairs, and then the TVs were thrown in front of the door, so we couldn't even open the door to get into the attic, and all of our shit was thrown out the window onto the front lawn and on the fucking roof. But yeah, we were all downstairs eating lunch. I remember Carrie had to have her boyfriend come over and 2 of his friends in order to open the door because Dad was at work.
Wow.
Yeah, so there was no physical way that anyone could have moved those TVs. They were literally thrown.
It's those old 80s TVs.
Yeah, the 80s TVs that literally, it took 2 people to fucking lift them.
Yeah.
And I could never figure out how that scrawny man of our father was able to lift them. But he had that weird superhuman strength. But we'll get back to that.
But getting into that, do you remember 2 instances? One, I'm in bed.
The bleach. Yeah, I do.
Do you remember doing that?
No, I don't remember doing it, but I remember being told that I did, and my eyes were glowing red.
Yes, I remember, because I was in the room when you're pouring the fucking detergent on me. Your eyes were like a dark red. I'm screaming on the top of my lungs because Danny's pouring bleach on me, and my mom comes in and whoops both of our asses.
I know.
And Danny
you got your ass whooped for doing nothing.
The crazy thing is like you popped out of nothing, and it was just like you didn't know what the fuck you were doing.
I didn't. The only thing I remember was Mom just whooping her ass.
So this is the story.
You little bastard, Spot! I didn't do it.
So jumping ahead too, there was another time that I remember. I don't know if you do, but I just want to see. I remember the day passing. For some reason or another, me and you,
we disappeared in the corn.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember going into the corn, but nothing after.
I remember the day went by minutes. It was
it was
watching...
literally a snap.
Yeah.
We walked into the corn, because me and you, we used to go wander everywhere. So that was just us. It was the 80s. It's like, let the kids just go fucking wander. But we'll talk about that another time. And I remember, dude, we used to go wander every single day. You know, we'd go find rivers, streams, waterfalls, all that. And I remember walking into the corn and then coming back out hours later, like the day was gone. And everyone was looking for us, and then again we got our ass whooped.
Yeah, we got our ass whooped. But the thing is like, for me, it felt like
minutes.
Minutes.
Yeah, we walked in, and then we walked out.
Yeah, and that was it. And then all of a sudden it was nighttime. We're like, whoa.
Yeah, where'd the day go?
Yeah.
Dude, I remember that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure I wasn't like trying to make something up in my head.
No, dude, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that because Mom was fierce that night, dude. She had a fucking backhand like Ali.
Yeah, that was crazy. So I'm glad I'm not like losing my shit. I was like, okay.
No, not yet. It'll happen.
So jumping ahead to, we went from
the farmhouse to the trailer.
Yeah.
And then when we went to the trailer, it was even more remote.
Yeah.
And we had marshland in the back, and then we had Rascal, though, remember, the half husky, half wolf. And then we had Cassie.
Mm-hmm.
That was Cassie was also a wolf too, and we had them, and we were there for about a year and a half. I remember living there, and then we really wandered in the woods, and then I remember I went once with a 4-wheeler ride with Carrie, and I don't know why you didn't go. But I went with Carrie and her boyfriend and the friend. And then I got ditched off the back of a 4-wheeler because there were bees and they like sped up and I fell off. And they fucking left me. Dude, they fucking left me. I had to walk back.
How old were you?
I was 4. I was fucking 4. Dude, it was like 2-hour walk to get back.
And at that time, dude, I'm running, I'm getting stung with fucking bees.
In order to get...
And yeah, dude, I'm walking back. It took about 2 hours in order to get back. And then I got yelled at by Mom because it took me so long.
Wow.
When they ditched me off the back of a 4-wheeler and I got left. But nothing happened to her. Again, it was my fault.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, I was 4.
Yeah, when it comes to the trailer, the only thing I kind of remember from that time was Carrie was basically our babysitter. She was always home, and it's weird, like, Carrie was home so much, but like...
I don't know where Mom was.
I don't remember Mom, and I don't remember Bridget or Deidre. I remember them coming in and out.
Yeah.
But Carrie, for me, was the main... She always was there.
Bridget was always with her friends, because that was her time when she was at, probably the most popular and when she was the most at home.
Yeah.
And then Deidre and Heather, I remember us doing stuff with them too. And I don't really remember where Heather was a lot of the time. But I remember majority, it was just me and you, because me and you were all that we had.
Yeah.
So that's majority what I remember, because literally it'd be me and you walking and be like, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
And then we would just pick a random... way in the woods, and we would just go off. You remember, like, starting fires and eating salamanders and all that for lunch? That was literally, that was our days. Yeah. In the 80s in Vermont. 2 kids, 4 and a 5-year-old, why are they by themselves, and why do they have knives, and how can they start fires?
Yeah.
And hunt for food. Dude, do you remember trying to hunt the horses?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you, with a bow. And again, why do we have that stuff? Yeah. Why did we?
Dad.
Yeah, it was Dad, dude. Yeah. And then Mom, dude, do you know why he stopped teaching us that stuff?
No.
It was Mom.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she didn't like what we were becoming.
Yeah.
Because we were little, yes sir, we were becoming little monsters. It was great. We were little vicious animals. Yeah. We should have stayed that way, man. The simplicity of it.
So we went from there to...
Yeah, and then, remember we were camping for about 3 months. Yeah. We were camping. We were homeless.
I don't know if you wanted to go there or not, but yeah, I remember that.
Oh, dude, I don't care. Honestly, that was... Hold on, that was a time, honestly, I think when we were all the happiest.
Yeah.
And I'm doing this on purpose. I think that was one of the times that we were all the happiest, because we were finally around kids our age. Mm-hmm. We were at a campground the entire summer.
Yeah.
And we just thought that it was a high life. Dude, we didn't know that we were homeless until we were, like, adults.
Yeah.
It was... I don't remember what happened in Vermont, but we had to leave.
I remember it was almost like we packed our shit and left.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it wasn't like we didn't...
That's how it happened every time.
Yeah, Mom and Dad never talked about it? Or
No.
anything? I
No.
assumed it was the whole, like...
I assumed it was Carrie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because Carrie was a pretty crazy teenager, and in a small town, that was not acceptable.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I thought it was, like, the ghost and shit, because we were having
No,
some
no,
weird
dude,
shit.
the ghosts, are you kidding? Ghosts were just another daily thing. Dad's like, they're not going to hurt you. If they're going to hurt you, they're going to hurt you. It's because you did something wrong.
Yeah, it's because you did something to them.
It's because you did something. They have been here. Leave them alone.
Yeah.
Really? Really? Why is it levitating? Where did we go?
Yeah, right.
But, yeah, no, I would say that was probably the time when we were all, as kids, that was probably when we were the happiest.
Yeah.
Because we were finally around other kids. We were able to socialize with other people. And then we moved from the campground to Manchester, back to Manchester. And then we moved into, like, the shitty neighborhood right outside of the projects.
Yeah.
And that was a complete
scary.
culture shock.
Yeah.
You know, we went from where we could go wander and do what we want to, dude, stay in eyesight.
Yeah.
Don't accept anything from anyone. Where did you get that lollipop? And why are you passing through metal detectors?
Why are you walking funny, Billy?
Seriously.
What did you do?
God. Yeah. And then that was a
then-
complete culture shock. And then going to...
So going into that, like, yeah, we were in basically the ghetto.
Yeah.
So the thing is, over time of us being in that environment for as long as
We
were,
became that way.
We became that way, yeah. Like, fucking suspicious of everyone, constantly, like,
Yeah. And
just fighting.
yeah, people were suspicious of us for good reason.
Yeah.
You know, we were dicks.
Yeah.
And among other things, yeah, and we were violent.
Yeah, we're just mean people, and then all of a sudden, so this is where I kind of wanted to get into. Actually, no, I don't want to leave there yet. We went from Elm Street to Somerville Street was another ghetto.
Yep, Somerville Street was another ghetto. We moved a little bit up from the ghetto, so we were like on the outskirts of the ghetto.
Yeah.
We were, it was still a shittier neighborhood
Yeah.
where you couldn't really trust your neighbors because they were probably going to steal your shit or try to stab you or, you know, hey, there's a needle there.
And during this time, I'm in 3rd grade. Danny, I think, is in 2nd because he's
Yep.
always 1 year behind me. And we went to Wilson Street School. Now, just to give you an idea, I know there's a lot of people like out there that's like, I walked 10 miles in the snow with no shoes on
yeah.
and whatever.
Yeah.
But you know what? We may have had shoes, but that was a long fucking
was a
walk for a
fucking long
3rd
walk.
grader.
Oh my
and,
God.
And a 2nd grader
Dude,
to walk to
The
school.
first day that we went to Wilson Street School, that I went to Wilson Street School, you were sick. You were sick and you didn't go. That was the first time that I had to walk somewhere by myself.
Was I sick?
Do you
Or-
remember this?
I remember because I said, I'm not going.
Yeah, I think you were sick or something like that. You didn't end up going. So I had to go to school. It was 1st grade. And at that time, it was like, what, 1st grade? So it was like 1990. And at that time, the little 1st graders had a little apple necklace with their name and their phone number just in case they got lost. Why are you putting that shit around a kid's neck and just go on to the world, little Timmy? But, so, I remember Dad's like, you just have to get out the front door and you walk straight.
Yeah.
And I still am a very directional person. You give me a direction, I will do it to the T. I got out of the front door of the school and I walked straight. He didn't tell me to take the first turn around the school.
Yeah.
So I literally walked straight. I walked until almost the west side, man.
Jeez.
And then I walked into I went into a pizza shop that I didn't even know. I didn't recognize the neighborhood. I'm like, can you tell me where Somerville Street is? And I was literally like miles away from it. Dude,
This
I
is
walked.
2nd grade.
No, this is 1st grade
Oh,
for
1st
me.
grade, wow.
Yeah, 1st grade for me, 2nd grade for you.
Yeah, because when we first got there.
Yeah, dude, I walked miles. And then I went into the pizza store, and he's like, no. I'm like, can you call my parents? And then they called it. And, dude, I waited out back, and the guy gave me a slice of pizza and a soda. I think that's why I love pizza.
Yeah.
I really think I do. I might have just discovered something inside of me.
You really like that.
But
there's a lot less. I think there's.
Oh, dude, I could have gotten killed.
Yeah, there's a
Dude,
lot less weird.
yeah, I could have gotten fucking abducted. Next thing I know, I'm in Abu Dhabi. I'm a fucking slave.
Yeah.
You know, it's like American fetches a lot of money. Look at him, he's plump too.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they called and then I waited there and Dad yelled at me too. He's like, "What took you so long?" I'm like, "You told me to walk straight." He was like, "You turned the corner." I'm like, "You told me to walk straight." I walked straight. That was one of his times he ever apologized to me. Because I did exactly as he told me to. I got out the door, I walked straight. And I remember looking, and I was like, he told me to walk straight. And I made it straight. I had no thought for myself. Yeah. I had no... I should have been like, yeah, this is the way, now go straight. Because I recognize a little bit, but again, I got a ride there. And he's like, you get out the front door, you walk straight. I did exactly like I was told, and I got lost.
So another, 3, however many mile that was, another story that I had about that friggin' school, being a little kid. I remember going home one time, and our neighbor was Sherrod.
Yep.
And
yep.
Sherrod was black, and we'd walk home together.
Yeah, I remember playing RoboCops with that kid. That was cool.
And the funny thing is I remember one time, someone called Sherrod the N-word.
Oh, the kid that you smashed his face up against the stone wall and rubbed it. That was so hysterical.
So the thing was, I ran up to because he yelled it at him.
Yeah.
And Dad forced it in us as little kids.
Oh, dude, there was
You don't say that, and if you're friends with someone that's that, you beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
So he said that. I ran up to him. I punched him in the face. I'm rubbing his fucking face.
His face on the wall. I remember that. And the kid Sherrod was like, oh, and I'm like, yeah.
And then I go home.
Yeah, Dad was so happy.
He was happy about that until he's like, oh, where's your boots? I dropped my boots because of chasing after that damn kid.
Yep.
It's nighttime. Dad just got out of work. I'm walking at night with Dad miles.
Yep, in order to find your boots.
My friggin' boots. Freezing my butt. Oh, man.
Yep. But he was so happy about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was good times. So also coming to another time, I want to go into the Aloha story.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
So I'll let you tell it.
No,
you want me to start and then you say it?
All right. Yeah, go ahead.
So we go to every year for New Year's. We always went to Aloha. Aloha is a Chinese food restaurant. It's really good. We always used to go there. So we get there, and I get it in my head to steal one of these butter knives. And this butter knife, it's just a normal butter knife, but the tip of it was like crazy sharp.
It was, and it was much heavier, much wider, and it had an actual real serrated edge.
Yeah.
And it was no cheap butter knife at all. And I remember, hey, I'm going to see how close I can get to your hand. I'm like, wait, why?
Yeah.
And then
we got to get to there.
Oh.
Yeah. So we drive back. My dad drives us home. My mom runs into the house. And
No. It was Vista Foods. She wanted to stop at the grocery store to get something. She needed something for the next morning.
That makes sense.
And then we pulled over, and me and you were in the back seat. The girls took their car. And so we're in the back seat. We're trying to figure out stuff to do because we're a little bit bored. And then you're like, all right, well, I'm going to see how close I can get to your hand with the knife. I'm like, why? And then you're like, just put your hand out. Are you a girl? I'm like, no. And I put my hand out, and you're just getting really close. I'm like, it's getting kind of close, Billy. It's getting kind of close. Next thing I know, it's in my fucking hand. The butter knife cuts through to the bone. I didn't know a butter knife could cut to the bone. I was wrong. And then and the weird thing is I felt it, like right when it hit you. The ding.
It was one of those things I'll always remember. And then like I cut his finger, and then I feel like such a piece of shit because I hurt my brother. Daddy's bleeding out, and then he's consoling me because I'm crying like a 4-year-old. I just fucking hurt him.
Dude, it was hysterical. And then I was like, Dad, can you? And I showed him my hand. He's like, I'll be right back. So he leaves. He goes into the store. He just tells Mom that I need a napkin. And then he comes out with a napkin. He's like, she's almost done shopping. And he gives me a napkin. I'm like, I'm bleeding. He's like, don't be a bitch. That was the last thing I said about her. And then she comes out. She's like, oh, why did you need a napkin? And I showed her my hand, and I'm bleeding all over. Bill, why didn't you tell me? He's like, he's fine.
He's fine.
It's not near an artery.
How many stitches did you get?
You know, dude, I got like 5 stitches. And, dude, it was cut pretty good down to the bone. It was pretty hysterical. I didn't know bone was white. I always thought that they bleached it.
Yeah.
You know, and like in the museums or shit like that. I didn't know that bone was actually fully white.
Yeah.
At that age, I didn't make that realization. I was only like 9.
Yeah.
You know? So that was that was our time stealing the butter knife.
So moving forward, we went from Somerville Street was also ghetto to a gorgeous neighborhood on Laxton Ave.
Oh
which,
God, yeah.
So when
the
you
suburbs.
picture going from living in the ghetto to like this crazy nice neighborhood that
nice little 2-acre lots of suburb development that was made in like the late 70s, early 80s. You know, it's been around a bit. And they had a nice park at the end of their street, you know, with 2 baseball fields and a football field. And we used to play in a parking lot.
Yeah.
You know,
breaking into cars.
Yeah, breaking into cars and all that. And then we moved to a nice neighborhood.
So we brought the ghetto with us. So like all of our neighbors hated us because you don't know. So whenever our parents left, it was like Fight Club. Mom and Dad went to work. It was like we just look at each other and be like, all right, who's gonna fuck up? We had holes in our walls from Danny fucking throwing me into him or me throwing Danny into him.
Yeah. Dude, remember going through the wall and you ended up in the closet? Dad was so pissed. I threw him through the wall, and then he opens up the closet door, and Dad's coming down the hall yelling at you. You just shut the door.
Yeah, right.
And you stayed in the closet.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, so like we went there. So I want to tell another funny story from Laxton Ave.
Okay.
So my sister had a friend named Mark, and I
Mark
think you know where we're
LaRue,
going.
yep.
So he came up one time. He just got back from California, and he was a fucking instigator. So one time he goes to my brother. He's like, "Hey, who'd win out of a fight out of you two?" And me being how I was a fucking jerk back in the day. And Danny was always humble. He was always but he would always be like, "No, dude, you can't beat me up." And I'm his older brother, so I gotta fucking no, bro.
I'm gonna square up. We're gonna do this.
Square up. So, fucking Mark is like, "Nah, I don't think Danny could do it." So we're like, so both of us get in our heads. We're like, you know what? Fuck it, let's go outside and do this. So we're in this nice ass fucking neighborhood, throwing down. I remember me and Danny. So we had a big lawn. We're circling each other because we're about to fucking throw down. And I'm like, well, I know I can't get close to him because if I get close to him, he's got me. So I run up and jump kick him.
Yeah.
I jump kick him and he's on the ground. And for some reason, it's got to be Dad's mentality of how he raised us. But it's like, when you fight basically.
Oh, yeah.
So
when you were smashing my head.
Yeah, I'm smashing his head on the concrete, off the car, wherever I can. And I'm like, cool, I'm getting him. And all of a sudden, for some reason or another, I'm dumb. And I stand back up. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to do this shit again. So I run up and try jump kicking him. My brother caught me mid-air and bear hugged me until I cried.
I remember that. You were so surprised in midair. I just caught you.
He never laid a hand on me. Just put me a little bear hug. Cried like a baby.
Dude, you couldn't breathe. You were like...
I couldn't. I was just like, God damn.
Yeah.
That's one of those moments that like humbled me.
Yeah.
I think after that, I realized like this is fucking dumb. Like, we never fought after that.
No. We never fought after that.
Yeah, before that we were always fucking just beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
So after that moment,
but it was never malicious.
No.
We would just fight to fight.
Yeah.
Just for the fun of it. You know, you and Derek would try to take me down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then it would be all three of us just fighting, just for the hell of it, just for the fun of it.
Yeah.
And the only rule was when someone went down, you leave them alone. That was the only time that we actually somewhat fought.
Yeah.
And it wasn't out of fun, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's why that was probably the last time we ever did it.
I think
Because
so, too.
then it was like, you know, it was
dumb.
It was
for me.
dumb.
It was a huge awakening because it was like, whoa, someone got into my head and made me fucking fight my brother, and I lost. Which was the only time I've fought a few times, not many times. I've fought a few times after, you know, since being in the Army. I've fought people, and I've never lost. Only person who's ever beat me was him, and it was a fucking, you know, because now I choose my battles. It's like, you know, I'm not gonna fucking just fight because someone says that they, you know.
Yeah. God, yeah.
But yeah. So cut into there. We went. I'm trying to think of. Yeah, so that's right around when you started drawing, and then.
Yeah, I'd always drawn. It was just then I could really focus on it, because you guys were all older and I could be left alone.
Yeah.
So I would just disappear into the. Literally, I spent most of my time in the room, just drawing. I drew, literally day and night, and entered different art competitions, and then I won the one through the Louvre.
Now, this is gonna. I jump a lot, and I'm sorry, but going into so when we were kids, Danny was on Adderall or Ritalin.
I was on Ritalin, then I was on a drug pre-Ritalin too. My first time, all intents and purposes, getting high was when they started to medicate me.
And I want to get into that because I'm watching a TV show that a doctor basically talks about children taking Ritalin, and it basically kind of crushes their dreams and makes them focus on the teacher.
Yeah.
Now, being where we were, see, when I went to school, I was the good kid, you know, but like, and it was weird because it was vice versa. When I was at school, I was the good kid, but when I got home, I was a fucking asshole. I was an asshole to dad, I was an asshole to mom.
Yeah.
Anyone who fucking, I was like, you're like, I was an asshole. But like when I was at school, it was the best part. Like, oh my god, your child's such an angel.
Yeah, seriously.
But Danny was the exact opposite. At home, Danny was the nicest fucking person in this
ever. Yeah.
At school, though.
Yeah. No, God, no. I made teachers retire. I viewed it as a challenge, and that was just malicious and me just being a dick.
Yeah.
That really was like, yeah, the ADHD really did. Once it was pointed out to me and I started to learn mental tricks, I had to learn my own mental tricks because really they just wanted you to use medication. And like even they said, oh, yeah, you should go to therapy and all that, but it never did anything. Mm-hmm. It's something that you need to figure out your own ways of dealing with it because not everyone's ideas work. Of course, you know, take their ideas and try to build on it, use it as a scale. But yeah, literally, they just wanted me to be a zombie. They just medicated me throughout the day. They had to give me something in order to go to school so that I could focus. And then they would give me something, you know, in order to go to sleep because I wasn't tired from the stuff that they gave me during the day. So there was quite a few years where I was just a zombie, and that's even when I didn't draw or anything like that, because I drew up until that time when they started to medicate me. And then after I was old enough and I took myself off the medication, then I started to draw again, and then I learned my own way of dealing with it. And then honestly, I wasn't a dick anymore. It could have been a compounding with the meds too, because once I got amped up, there was no stopping me.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out, is if like you were acting out because of how we were as kids dealing with what we did, you know.
It could have been a mix of all, really, because Deidre was a dick too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm trying to come up with like
an actual logic behind it. I've tried to figure it out, and I didn't have any really impulse control, and I was angry at school because a lot of it I didn't understand.
Yeah.
It wasn't until the 4th grade, dude, that they figured out that I had dyslexia too, because I couldn't read. Yeah. I couldn't understand what the hell she was writing on the freaking board.
How did you overcome that?
In literally the 4th grade, the teacher, Mrs. Chelius, she figured it out, and dude, they developed a plan. And within a year, I was able to read.
Wow.
You know, and if it wasn't for going to that school, dude, I would have been screwed. I was just passed along.
Yeah.
They were just like, get him out of my classroom. Because I didn't try at all.
You're like bored, and so you're just like.
Seriously, I was like, well, you're the issue. I don't understand the squiggles on the board. Now I'm going to your desk.
And you're going to sit there and not do it.
Seriously, I'm just going to be like, no. But yeah, and then, dude, the resource rooms, the LD rooms, Yeah, the LD rooms, that was great. That was great.
you're-
In the basement behind the boiler room, you know what those classes were? I literally walked on a board and learned to bounce a ball.
Really?
Oh, yeah, dude. They were talking with that, like, actual physical functions.
What was the point?
Hand-eye coordination. I don't know. I don't know.
But the thing is, I'm assuming they didn't separate you from other people who had severe learning disabilities.
Oh, no, I got grouped in with all of them.
Yeah, so it's
Like, it was just hey, we're going to stick you in this room, and then hopefully something happens.
the
'cause-
powers that be.
Dude, yeah, and she was like, oh, well, you know, this is good in life. I'm like, I can throw a knife. Dude, Dad taught us to throw a knife when we were 3 and 4. Again, things that you shouldn't teach your children. Why are they able to throw blades? But that's besides the point. So I had perfect, hand-eye coordination.
Yeah.
That was from, but yeah,
I think if Dad would have used his skills of not just survival, because like when
Yeah,
it came to survival, like to this day,
we can get dropped somewheres, and then we'll know how to survive.
yeah. But when it comes to like reading or
Oh God,
for
yeah,
me math, like
yeah.
and Dad,
See, that typically was usually what the mother would teach the kids.
yeah.
And dude, I don't ever remembering Mom helping us with anything.
No, not when it came to
Nothing,
that.
dude.
She was my moral.
She watched TV.
Yeah. For me, Mom was my support. Like, because I couldn't talk to Dad. So I was always a mommy's boy. So it's just like,
Yeah.
I mean, when it came to Dad, like, I've always reached out. Like, if Dad was working on a car, my dad is the kind of person, and I think you can agree, is when we were kids, I'd be like, oh, what does that do? He'd either be like, shut the fuck up, or
Yeah.
he would say something mean, so you're like, I'm not gonna ask a question.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if I ask a question, I'm either A, gonna feel stupid for asking it,
Or B,
B, he's gonna go get the fuck out of it, or he'd be like, come on and help me with the car, and
Yep.
then I'll ask him something, and they'll be like, go fuck off.
Seriously,
I'm annoying
just
him
go
or
fuck
something.
yourself.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself, you little fucking bastard. I should have pulled out with you.
Yeah. So like, when it came to communication, it was just
Yeah, and that honestly was his drinking.
yeah.
And if you caught him on a good day and you asked a question, and if he thought you weren't being a dick about it,
Yeah.
then he'd be like, okay, and he'd break it down and actually explain it to you. That's where I learned a lot of the automotive and the building and all that. And he taught me how to read, electrical diagrams and all that and diagnosing different stuff. He taught me a lot of his electrical stuff and building shit. Like, dude, do you remember building the robots in the 80s? The little Japanese robots? Dude, yeah, we were building like little synchros in order to have them move and all that stuff. See, a lot of the childhood you don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I think
Some people can't. It's like physically impossible for them to remember earlier stuff. Everyone's brain is different.
and I think towards
Like,
I mean-
I remember childhood, great. Now, people's names, no idea. No idea. I'll recognize a face and be like, do I know you? Are you familiar to me?
nice. I'm like that with like high school friends. Like I'll have when I first moved back, I had a random high school friend walk up to me like, "Oh my God, Billy, I haven't seen you since high school." Even I'm just like, "Oh God, who are you?" Like,
Dude,
good man.
Dude, that happened to me. It happens to me so many times with women. I don't remember them, dude. Okay, all right. I'm gonna one time at a bar.
It's always gonna be a good story when.
All right, one time at a bar. Okay, dude. One time, I was talking to this chick and all that, and dude, I tried to pick up a chick again. Like I had already picked her up and went home with her, and I didn't remember. And then months later, I tried to pick her up again. At the same bar, dude. She was so mad. So fucking mad.
Why? What did you say to her?
Dude, I literally tried to pick her up again. I started off bare bones, from the ground, chatting her up and everything like that. And she was a little bit apprehensive, I don't remember the first time.
Yeah.
But I was drinking a lot then and smoking and doing a lot of different stuff. But, yeah, and then she was like, you don't remember me at all? I'm like, should I? Dude, she got so mad.
That's crazy. That's funny.
Dude, so mad.
We're just gonna wrap things up.
All right.
thank you again for coming in today.
You're
it was
welcome.
awesome. And you said they can. If someone wanted to reach out to you, where can they reach out to you?
They can reach out to me to dandoesit@gmail.com.
Okay.
Yeah, feel free to send me an email. I'll respond to you as quick as I can. And please keep it funky fresh.